welcome. This episode 513 of Whisper Grandpa. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says...
Mr. Madison, what you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Nice.
Yes. Little Billy Madison action there for you. A bit of a reach, but, you know. I think last year, or was it it was 2 years ago it was Chappelle. And last year it was Jon Stewart, or something like that. I can't remember what the order was. But, masters of comedy.
Right.
And then, this year we're going to roll it out to Adam Sandler. The Sandman.
He is funny.
He is. I can't deny that. It just seemed odd, because, he's funny, but he's funny in his own odd way.
Yeah.
That, I don't consider it masterful humor. It works. I guess. I don't know. But, when you compare it to, some of the other recipients of this prestigious award over the past few years, it's oh, wow, yeah, this makes sense. Sandler. Which one of these does not belong?
Yeah.
So. Hey, whatever works. Good for him. So how are you?
Tired, man.
Yeah.
Been up since 5.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Ellie had a dance thing today.
Oh.
And yeah, her free to work.
Yeah.
We're out to eat. Yeah. At Bravo, which was not good.
Not good at all.
I didn't think it was.
No. I haven't been to Bravo in years.
It's gone down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is shocking.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. So, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, then.
Yeah, binging that Night Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far into it are you?
Sorry. I'm at the point where they've just teamed up with the FBI agents. They caught him on the boat.
Oh, okay. No, that's Secret Service.
Huh?
That's Secret Service, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty far, I think.
Yeah, you are. You got 3 or 4 more episodes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's really good.
It is, isn't it? It's fun.
Oh, yeah. And it's gory, a little bloody.
Oh, yeah. But not over the top.
No.
No, there are some times where you're oh man, this is some over the top. The violence just works when it has to happen.
Yeah, it does. It's a really good show.
It is. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
And apparently, it's trending #1 on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It deserves it. It's pretty good.
So I'm glad it's doing well, and apparently they're gonna hopefully they'll announce they're doing a season 2.
Yeah, right. One can only hope with Netflix.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's doing well. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
As well, because I really did. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like all the actors.
Yeah.
Side stories.
Yeah. Everybody has a little bit of depth to them and some character to them. It's not just mustache twirling villains and
Yeah.
there's a reason for all of this and
yeah, it's just watching it all come together.
Yeah.
Which has been, very good and interesting.
Yeah.
To see that happen. You know what I mean?
Right. It's a very Clancy-ish.
Yeah.
Little Bourne-ish.
Yeah.
It's like a nice amalgamation of like a couple of different like style franchises kind of coming together. It's very nice.
Yeah. So, that's about it, I think. Yeah. I watched Mandalorian.
Okay, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And, Picard was great.
Oh, Picard's phenomenal. This season of Picard has been so fucking good. Like, unbelievably good.
Yeah. And you know what's nice about it is they've introduced these characters back in a non-corny way.
Yeah.
And it's giving them finale,
Yeah.
which I don't think they ever really got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, not really.
Right. But it's cool to see where they ended up.
Yeah.
Like, where Geordi's at.
Right. I agree.
And, like, he looked good. you
Yeah.
know? And the fact that, you know, he threw his daughter into the mix. His daughter is this, you know, he's in a quandary,
Right.
you know. I like that. I liked, you know, Data.
Yeah.
Tuvok.
Oh, yeah, that
Which was
moment was
kinda
pretty
neat.
fucking cool, yeah.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things to like,
Yeah.
you know. So it's really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, the pieces are moving in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
And the further down the rabbit hole you go, it's
And I like the villain
yeah.
that we see. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, she's doing really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, it's shocking.
And like that whole story about like how they were like tortured and like it was so well done, you know.
It's just really, like, it's really good science fiction.
Yeah,
So, anyway, yeah, I'm liking it. It's just been a really...
this has been the best of the 3 seasons, and I really like season 1. Like we've discussed like the fallings of season 2,
Yeah.
but like we both like really liked season 1.
Yeah.
You know, we thought that was very, very good. But this has been far superior to both of those seasons, in my opinion.
Oh, I do too. It's far superior.
Yeah. And like, you know, Shaw is captain, and you know, I have fallen in love with the Titan as a ship.
Yeah.
Like I love the design of it, the Neo Constitution class, like everything. Like I'm like, this ship is just so fucking cool,
Yeah.
you know, and like just all the other little intricacies about, you know, what's going on. I can't wait to see where it goes and how it finishes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a little part of me that's like, man, I don't want this to end because it's just that good.
I know.
You know?
I liked also like the you know, sort of like Geordi's museum
Yeah,
of all the ships. That was so cool.
it was.
I mean, badass.
It was. I mean, you know, and like when Seven and Jack were like, you know, and he's like, you know, at Kirk's Enterprise, it's so sleek and stylish, and you know, and like he's like, which one's that? And she goes into like, you know, that was where I was reborn, talking about the Voyager, and I was like, that was a moment. Like even like the music playing from Voyager and stuff, I was like, oh man, that's,
I know.
you know, hardcore Trekkies have just got to be just like bawling right now.
Did they like it?
I don't know. Like I try to avoid it.
Yeah,
like
I know.
because I don't. It's like the weird thing of like I'm not in those circles,
Right.
but the people I see talking about Picard love it. But I don't know like how the hardest of hardcore are enjoying this season because I just don't want their opinion.
Right.
Like I would love to find out, you know, Uncle Jammy, friend of the show, who like blasted like everything Star Trek
Yeah.
when he was on the show, much to you know, our friend Stork's chagrin.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear his opinion of this season, because I think this season's been like really, really good. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know.
Did Riker direct everything?
No, I don't think he directed everything. No.
I'm just curious.
Excuse me.
On why he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm telling you.
But also the Mandalorian, you know, getting more into our universe.
Yeah.
That episode was phenomenal.
You mean when she took her helmet off?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and the armor is like, you know, you're going to bridge us. You're going to bring us together as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like a very interesting, like, because at first when she told the armorer about seeing the mythosaur,
Yeah.
you're like, man, she's kind of blowing this off. You know, the armorer. Like, oh, yeah, it's, you know, you saw the mythosaur. Big deal. You know.
Yeah.
But then she's like, yeah, you fucking saw the mythosaur.
Yeah.
You know, that tells me something.
Yeah.
And you are going to bring us together, and you're going to do it your way. So take off your fucking helmet.
Yeah. Badass, right?
Yeah. Which I'm all for, because, you know, I love Katie Sackhoff.
Where does that leave Manda?
Well, I don't think, like, I think it's an interesting point with him where he's like, he believes in the Night's Watch, the Children of the Watch. So he's right there step in step with the armor, but at the same time, like, I don't think he had as much of a problem with, like, Bo-Katan and her Mandalorian beliefs, except for the fact that she was just like, you know, it's gone, you know.
Yeah.
I think he's more in line with, like, but especially not the armor is like, she's accepted with or without the fucking helmet, and this is why I think he's in lockstep, like, with whatever the armorer says goes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so if this is what she's saying, he's like, you know, it's cool with me. I'm keeping my helmet on.
I thought it was cool. The whole that whole fight sequence.
Oh yeah,
And now how they have a place.
yeah.
That's pretty good of
Old
Carl
Grief.
Weathers.
Yeah. Old Carl Weathers coming in. You stay here. You live amongst us.
Well, that's his protection force.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's not stupid. But yeah, but there was a lot of cool moments in that, like that whole, like, when the armorer shows up in that gun nest.
Yeah.
And she's just like, you know, grabbing people and whacking them with that hammer, and she's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Going to battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superfan Thad had an idea, which I'm going to shoot down because he's never watched the Clone Wars, apparently. He's like, what if the armorer is Bo-Katan's sister? I'm like, well, that's impossible. Her sister's dead.
Yeah.
Because that was Duchess Satine.
Okay.
She was in charge of Mandalore until Maul took over. So, it's impossible, Thad. I don't know what shitty spoilers you're reading this time, but it ain't happening.
So, yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
It's getting less of the child, too.
Yeah, it's the less the Grogu show.
Yeah.
Even though the episode before,
Yeah.
which we didn't get the chance to talk about because you hadn't watched it yet,
Yeah.
like, that was still very interesting. Like, you know, Ahmad Best's Jedi showing up and saving Grogu and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that was sweet. I was like, oh, shit. Good for Ahmad Best.
Right.
And that Jedi, like, if you go back to, like, not Revenge of the Sith, to the Phantom Menace,
Yeah.
he's at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something like Dave Filoni was like, oh yeah, I'll just, you know, we'll give Ahmed Best something to do.
Yeah.
You know, here's a way to make up for being Jar Jar Binks. No, like, this is like Ahmed Best is at the end of The Phantom Menace as a Jedi.
Yeah.
So they're just taking that character, that background character he's playing, just so he could be on screen without, you know, being Jar Jar.
Right.
And giving it, you know, I know they've done other stuff at, like, Disney where, like, that character was in charge of stuff or something, like it, you know, but, like, so, like, the character has, like, a little bit of history.
Right.
That they're incorporating. So I think that's kind of like a cool idea. And plus it gives Ahmed Best a chance to make up for being Jar Jar.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to begrudge anybody that. Like, it's tough. Like, you're like, man, Hayden Christensen sucked as an actor. But, you know, you won't give him much to work with either. Like, Lucas wrote some bad dialogue.
Right.
Ahmed Best, you played Jar Jar Binks. I can't forgive you for that. Well, yeah, I can, because you needed a paycheck. But,
yeah.
you know, you know.
He did need a paycheck.
It's not your fault you got stuck playing the court jester of the Star Wars universe, you know.
It was bad.
It was bad. But I forgave him for it. Now he's making up for it by being a badass Jedi who saved Grogu. Good for him.
Grogu. Ugh. That little darling.
Yeah.
I do like him. I'm not saying I don't like him.
No.
I'm just kind of glad it's getting back to.
But it could be like you're right. There's always been the concern is like, oh, it's the Grogu show,
Right?
You know, but like the way they've used him, especially like this season, has been very interesting. Like the whole thing with like the some people were like, oh, that's horrible, but you know when he like had the duel with the kid,
yeah,
you know, hopped over him, hopped back. Well, what else do you expect him to do? That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he's a hopper.
He's a hopper. Guess who else was? Yoda.
Yeah, I know.
Yoda was a hopper.
People forget about that.
Yeah. So, no, I'm not shocked that that's what he did.
You know? Right. Yeah. I don't mind that he's hopping around.
No. What did Luke Skywalker teach him to do? He taught him to hop.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of jumping on that planet. I don't know if you're aware of this.
There was a lot of jumping.
Maybe you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett and saw that episode, but there was a lot of hopping going around there for old wee
It was.
Yoda.
It was very Emmett Otters.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was a lot of frog eating and a lot of hopping.
Yeah.
You know, he was dodging that sphere thing.
Yeah.
You know, so. Well, that's kind of fucked up by Luke. Like, man.
Yeah, let's put this kid through the gauntlet.
Yeah. This thing's going to shoot you in the ass if you don't jump.
Yeah.
You know? Yoda's having, you know, Grogu's having flashback. He's a PTSD.
Yeah.
You know.
It was good, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. The other thing I like about that particular episode, though, they go to that one when they were hunting, trying to get the kid back. I guess that moment, like around the campfire, and she's like, how do we eat? He's like, well, we'll all go our separate ways, and we'll take our helmets off in private and eat. And Paz Vizsla's like, you're the leader of the hunt. You get to stay by the fire.
Nice.
I was like, that's badass.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And for Paz Vizsla to say that, like, again, knowing his family's history with Bo-Katan,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's pretty badass. And even, like, when he stood up and, like, I'm expecting Paz Vizsla to be like, you know, now these two could go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and instead he's like, yeah, I don't like either of them, but guess what?
Yeah.
They both have saved my ass on a number of occasions now, so we're going.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh shit, I was not
bad when they
expecting
brought
that.
in that fucking.
That minigun of his?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I wonder who plays him. I wonder what he looks like.
I don't know.
Because he's huge.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
a lot of armor on that guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a tank. You know,
Oh,
like,
man. He's massive.
like I thought to myself, like, when they were trying to, like, climb that mountain to get to the raptor,
Yeah.
I was like, man, Paz Vizsla, you gotta, you know, drop some of that, you know.
You gotta fucking.
That gun's got to go, my
Turn
friend.
on the jet boosters.
Yeah, he's got a problem, my friend. You are too heavy.
Can you imagine how heavy he is? I mean, he's that big wearing all that armor. It's got to be like...
Well, yeah, it's like he's the equivalent of like my Dungeons and Dragons character that was wearing full plate metal and brandishing a two-handed sword.
Yeah.
You know, like I could roll a natural 20 for my initiative, and I was still going last. You know what I mean? Like that character was just that fucking slow. You know. So, not to really confirm. Well, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, there may be a few people like, what do you mean a natural 20? What's a nat 20? Anyway, so both of those shows were great.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Just hitting home runs week after week with those two.
Yeah. Anything else?
I watched a movie.
Oh, what did you watch?
I watched Tetris.
Oh, how was that?
It was okay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was odd.
Was it?
Yeah. It's on Apple Plus for those of you who are inquiring, want to know. And it's literally the story of how the rights for Tetris were purchased from Russia.
Oh, really?
And like the chaos that it was.
Really?
Yeah, because like, so this guy, he's the Consumer Electronics Show, sees Tetris, buys the video game rights and the arcade rights for Japan.
Okay.
From this company. And then, so he sells it to Nintendo. And it turns out that the company that he bought these rights from didn't have the rights because like it was made by a programmer in Russia.
Uh-huh.
And so at that time, because it was still communism, even though he made it, it was technically the property of the Russian government.
Okay.
So you didn't negotiate with him, you negotiated with the Russian government for any rights for distribution.
I see.
And, like, you know, the guy who was doing the negotiating had negotiated PC rights and used a loophole to get, like, video game rights.
Okay.
Because it was like, what's the definition of a computer? Well,
right.
they had the Russian contract had a very vague definition of a computer.
Okay. I don't see.
So
that was a loophole.
Yeah. So like they initially were like holding this guy, saying you just presented us a pirated copy of a game that's owned by the Russian government.
Right.
So you're breaking law. And you brought us the evidence. And he's like, no, I didn't. I bought the rights from this company. And like it was. But like at the end, like one company was trying to get the rights and they were trying to like bribe another guy and like end up like doing like this like exchange. Like we'll give you access to this online encyclopedia and you give us the rights to Tetris. Like, and he's trying to convince, like, well, this is how communism works. This is you're not out to make money, so we'll just exchange IP.
Okay.
And so this is a fault. Like, even like Mikhail Gorbachev was like, well, that doesn't sound like a good deal. You know. Meanwhile, like, there's Nintendo, who's now back in like the main character. And they're like, we'll give you $5 million for the rights and $1 for every unit sold. And they're like, well, how many units are you expected to sell? Millions. Yeah. Millions of units are going to sell for this.
Yeah.
We're going to package it with our Game Boy.
Yeah.
You know, you'll make a boatload of money. Well, like, oh, it was like, I mean, I think at the end it turned like, it became like this like car chase and everything, which I don't think actually happened. You know, but I think they had to like spruce it up a little bit. But there was, from my understanding, like, it was like a race to get out of Russia with the contract.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't think it was quite as dangerous as the movie ended up portraying it.
Bleed.
Oh my goodness, that's not good. But overall, I mean, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. If you have access to Apple Plus, I highly recommend it. It was 2 hours of enjoyment.
Yeah.
So after Ian has performed first aid on himself. So I'm trying to think. That's all I pretty much watched.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to get into oddly enough, we're going to do things a little bit out of order today. Step in the old mailbag here.
Okay.
Mailbag. And we have an email from Superfan Thad, and I knew Superfan Thad was going to give us some information because Thad loves Kennywood.
Yeah.
And last we were talking about, before we went down a rabbit hole that eventually led to the EA Prom incident, we were talking about the safety measures at Kennywood.
Right.
And so I'm going to clean this up a bit because there's a great deal of what should be followed with allegedly written by Thad here about the district attorney of Allegheny County. Wow. But, yeah. The DA has no authority to close down a business. I think he does. I'm not sure what safety measures he says is not complete. The week after the incident, Kennywood completely put into place new safety measures and reopened. If it was a problem, then he should have dealt with it then. He is only doing this because he is embarrassed. He was unable to prosecute the person they arrested, which I don't know, with the shooting incident that took place last September.
Yeah.
They had to let him go with no charges. He has no current leads and is an embarrassment to the county. What a fucking tool. Allegedly. If I've learned anything from Pat McAfee, so make sure you say, allegedly. Here's what Kennywood has done to improve safety. They've added more security, instituted a new chaperone policy, a new bag policy, added expensive metal detectors they use for mass crowds at Steeler games, fixed a fenced area, added new lighting to reduce dark areas, installed new security cameras, removed overgrown trees, just to name a few. That is basically alleging that because this is an election year for him, he is just trying to make a name for himself to win the election.
Okay.
So, he also had sent, let me see if I can find this real quick. He had, in our group text, he had sent here it is. State Representative Nick Pisciotto has criticized Allegheny County DA Stephen Zappala, his threat to keep Kennywood from opening on April 22nd. So this state representative is ranked over Allegheny County District Attorney's threat to keep Kennywood from opening this season if it doesn't adapt his mandated security improvements. Pisciotto, a West Mifflin Democrat,
okay.
Which, by the way, the DA is also a Democrat. So just think this is a Republican-Democrat thing. This is Allegheny County.
Right.
Everybody's a Democrat.
Yeah.
Said the DA acted irresponsibly when he said he would go to court to prevent Kennywood Park from starting its 2023 season if Kennywood doesn't implement the new standards. At a news conference on Friday, however, the DA didn't cite any specific suggestions Kennywood is resisting. Staging a press conference threatening a major economic driver for the Mon Valley less than a month ahead of its 125th anniversary opening day is not responsible treatment of a regional historic treasure and national tourist destination in Allegheny County. I encourage the district attorney to make clear what his specific concerns are, what recommendations are not being met, and actively participate in ongoing discussions in the community so families across Pennsylvania can safely enjoy Kennywood this season. The DA's office made safety recommendations of the park after last September's shooting there, in which 3 people were injured. 2 teenagers and a 39-year-old man were shot September 24th near the Music Express ride during Kennywood's Phantom Fall Fest. A 15-year-old initially was charged with the shooting, but the judge dismissed the case. Piscinato said he worked with Kennywood management since the shooting on its efforts to ensure the park is safe for all attendees, including his own family. I've seen firsthand the security upgrades Kennywood management has made in response to the event. Like many others in our region, I look forward to enjoying Kennywood Park this summer with my family in a safe environment based on the security improvements implemented since last September.
Okay.
And this was an article Thad sent to me from The Patch.
Okay.
So, Eric Heil is my is our source there.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry about that. So, getting back to this. So, I don't want to beat a dead horse because we discussed it a bit last week, but it does sound like there is political hijinks and or shenanigans, whichever you prefer, with all this, which is not surprising in the least. You know.
Not with this county.
No, not at all. Any chance to grandstand is always taken.
Yeah.
So, that was that. In other local news, within 24 hours, 7,600 contracted hotel rooms sold out for reservations for Arthrocon this year.
Really?
Yeah. Arthrocon is scheduled for June 29th through July 2nd. Is expected to attract more than 9,000 people to the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, bringing an estimated $10.8 million to the district spending. Now, for those who don't know or have not followed this show over the past almost 10 years, Arthrocon is one of the largest furry conventions in the world. And it is home. Its home is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It is.
It is. It very weirdly, they've been here for years. I think like 20 plus years at this point or something. But I mean, minus the COVID years, which I don't think they held the convention.
Yeah.
Even though technically everyone was behind a mask.
Yeah, sure.
But Ian, this is your least favorite time of year.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
When the furries are in town.
Yeah.
Avoid downtown at all costs during those few days.
The dark times.
Dark times. There's a little picture for you to enjoy.
It's always a fox.
It's always a fox.
I don't understand.
So Visit Pittsburgh. The organization has been working with Arthrocon since 2006 to host the international convention. There are also citywide events planned like a block party and the parade on July 1st, which everyone is invited to. Arthrocon board chair Sam Conway, unfortunately doesn't tell me what he identifies as. Fans of the artistic and literary genre known as furry are looking forward to coming back to Pittsburgh. Our fandom includes professional sports mascots, animators, cartoonists, puppeteers, artists, illustrators, and writers, as well as those who simply think it would be a wonderful thing if animals could walk or talk. We look forward to working with Visit Pittsburgh in the coming months as furries from around the globe plan their trip to Pittsburgh. Sam Conway, Arthrocon board chair, said in a press release.
And a muffled breath.
Now, the parade is what, here's the thing, and I know, I'm probably looking at it a completely wrong way, and I'm sure someone will tell me I'm kink shaming or something, but the parade taking place July 1st is, are both of our opinion, the worst idea anyone has ever had.
Yeah.
And why people bring their children to it, I don't know. Because it's just blocks of people dressed in full fur costumes in the middle of a July humid summer. That's just gotta reek of just BO and shame.
BO, shame, and butthole.
Oh. So.
Yuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing, like, it's amazing that, like, $10.8 million is nothing to sneeze at when you're talking about, like, money coming into the... And there are restaurants downtown, like, they rely on this. This is a big, big boom for them, and they... Like we've discussed in the past, there are some restaurants that, like, they will serve food in dog bowls to furries.
That's crazy.
Like they cater to them to attract their service, and
it is good for the city. I will say that, because it generates a lot of money for the city, and that's a good thing.
It absolutely does.
Like Picklesburg, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it generates quite a bit of money for the city.
Right, but like Picklesburg is more like a local event. Like, I don't think people come from around the world. Like, this is a major attraction. I
get that. It's on a different level.
This is like the San Diego Comic-Con of, like, furry conventions.
Yeah.
And it happens here for some weird reason. So, like, plus I just like bringing this up just because of how uncomfortable it makes you.
Yeah, I don't like it.
When we would go to Pitt football games, Ian knew at all times where the mascots were. At all times, they could tell you exactly where Rock the Panther and whatever the mascot was, especially if it was somebody in a costume. And I think the worst of them all was the Syracuse Orange.
Yeah,
that one had you the most disturbed.
It was disturbing. I just don't like it. What's the is it the Wolf Pack?
South Carolina?
Yeah, where they have the wolf in the costume.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, South Carolina Wolfpack.
When they start beating on the goalposts and stuff.
No. It's NC State. NC State, because South Carolina's the Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, North Carolina State Wolfpack. But when we went to go see them, like, it was usually a Big East team. So
yeah,
like, I think the worst of it was
talking about what you see on TV.
Yeah, the Syracuse Orange, I think, was the worst. I'm trying to think, like, any other mascot. Yeah, like West Virginia, like that was a guy in a costume.
What about the Hokies?
Yeah, they got that. I don't remember them ever bringing the turkey up though. Like they had that turkey.
Yeah.
I don't remember that being at a game. I don't remember any other, like, I think Rutgers brought the Knight.
Yeah.
But I remember the Orange. Like, I remember you, like, the Orange walked past us and you were just like, ugh. Like, you were, like, really, like, upset that the Orange was that close to you.
Yeah. Nittany Lion's weird too.
It is. I mean, especially
it's not just that though. It's, I don't know, the Nittany Lion, like, even Rock the Panther, they just look dirty. It just reminds me of New York.
Yeah.
In Times Square.
Yeah.
Like dirty homo, dirty cookie, and
yeah.
People are just trying to get money.
The one, like the people in L.A. in front of, like, the Grumman's Theater.
Yeah.
All in costume and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Yuck.
Yuck.
people just go up to him and hug him.
What about Steely McBeam? How are you on that?
I think it's so stupid that I think it just doesn't bother me anymore.
Okay.
It doesn't really bother me. I don't know why.
But okay.
Maybe
So,
it's because it has a human head.
right, that's my thing. Is if it's something that looks human, are you okay with it, or is it only like something that's in animal form?
Animal form.
Or if for some reason Pitt was to play Stanford, and the tree was there, like would that be a problem for you?
Nah.
Okay.
And it's mostly just the animal form.
Okay.
It all dates back to fucking Airwolf. All of this.
Airwolf?
Oh, yeah. There's an episode of Airwolf where they got in some kind of fucking weird thing with Nubis. I don't know what it was. I swear it was.
You sure it was Stargate?
No, it was Airwolf.
Because Airwolf didn't deal with the supernatural.
It wasn't. These were just idiots. This was a cult.
Okay. And they were wearing like the big. So Stargate bothers you.
Not so much. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I mean, I don't watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, like when they showed up with like the big helmets and stuff, you were just like,
They're not helmets.
in Stargate they are.
Yeah, they are, but not in this Airwolf episode.
Right.
I'm telling you, it was Airwolf.
Okay, I have to look it up.
I don't want to see it
Yeah, I understand.
at all. But it was like the human form with the
Yeah.
head of the dog. I just
Yeah.
can't. I just can't.
I mean, I remember we were watching the really shitty.
I think it's because I know they're human.
Yeah. Like when we were watching that really shitty Scorpion King 2. And there was the Minotaur. Like, you tapped out. You actually left the room when the Minotaur showed up.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it was like shitty CGI, and you were just like, nope, can't do it.
Right.
Minotaur's no good.
But, you know, it's funny because the centaurs and, like, Harry Potter and stuff like that, they never bothered me.
Is it because it's like a human top and an animal bottom?
Maybe. Maybe I could see the face.
Yeah.
It's when I can't see the face.
Right. Because like a Minotaur is like a bull head on a human body.
Yeah.
So I can see where that would mess with you.
Yeah, I know. Like, what's his name never bothered me either. Celebus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a problem with not being able to see the face.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when I know they're human underneath. I think that's what really bothers me.
Oh. If only that haunted house had shit like that in it.
Oh,
When we were kids.
you have just seen wet. You just seen. All you would have heard was.
I wouldn't have been the only one under Aunt Joni's poncho that night.
Right. What's that smell? I spilled my pop.
At least I didn't piss my pants.
Right.
Pussy.
Yeah. I just don't like that.
Yeah. Hey, we all have our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Haunted houses don't really scare me that badly, just because,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And I know they're in masks, and some of them have werewolf heads and stuff like that.
Right. I understand that, but it's just like that night when we were kids, you were so pissed at me at that fucking haunted house.
I was. I wanted to
If
go through
only-
that fucking thing.
If only it had been Anubis, then I wouldn't have been alone.
Was that just like one level? Or were there stairs in that?
I couldn't even tell you. I honestly could not tell you. I would imagine it was only one level.
Yeah, because that was in the annex, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the state of my life. I just know like we were about 10 feet in and we had to leave. You know. We were about 10 feet in, and we had, be escorted to the
Shitty
emergency exit.
Frankenstein
Yeah.
scared the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope.
You're like, no.
I'm tapping.
Let's go to the movie.
Yep. Yep. This isn't for me. This shit is not for me.
That's funny. I don't even mind the people that have ears on,
Yeah.
as long as I can see their face.
Yeah. It's when they go the full costume.
Yeah, like Sky Fox and fucking Sonic and... You know what I mean? Like, Chewie doesn't scare me.
Right.
I don't know.
Until you see Chewie's Red Rocket.
Yeah.
You know.
His sack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chewie, like, he doesn't bother me. And clowns terrify me.
Yeah.
Not sure why the clown thing. I can't think of anything in my history.
Yeah.
But it was from a young age because I never went to circus. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the circus a couple times.
Yeah.
But as soon as them clowns got around me, I'm like, fuck. Nope.
I'm not frightened of
taser.
clowns, but I'm like, I just find them disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. It's like, it's like a little unnatural.
Yeah, I just don't know what it's from. Because
Yeah.
Killer Clowns came out.
Yeah.
I was older
Right.
when it came out.
Like, I've never been to the circus, but like, I just find them just like I can deal with them. Like, I've been to when I was a kid, there was a magician clown I saw one time. But, I was just like, whatever. You're just a little creepy. Why you gotta wear the face paint? Yeah. So, I mean, it's stuff like that. Like, I'm not scared of them, but I'm just like, it doesn't seem right. You seem off.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like they're... I don't know what the term is. Like, multiple personalities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you see a person in the clown, and they're like a completely different person.
Right. You probably go
Like
backstage.
they're hidden.
Yeah.
They're like, they're just... I don't know how to describe it. It's just,
Out there.
yeah.
Whatever. Like,
I don't know. It's disturbing to me. And also, too, I don't like to be the center of attention. So, I mean, that's part of the problem.
yeah.
I honestly don't.
Right.
Unless I'm making myself the center of attention.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I don't want to be surprised.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like mimes.
Yeah.
Because they come up to you. I, all the time at Century 3.
Yeah.
They come up to you and start doing their bullshit.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to play the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're trapped in a box. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, don't make me the center of attention. Do you know what I mean? Because when that mime comes to you and it's your turn, all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
And I don't like
yeah.
that. I fucking hate that. Especially them guys. I know it's an art form. I get it. But is it? You know what I mean? Like, you know. I don't know.
Well, it's that thing. Like, I mean, the only thing that fucks with me is spiders.
Yeah, I don't like spiders.
Like, even like to watch a spider move looks unnatural to me. You know what I mean? Like, everything about spiders just fucks with me.
They all move differently, too.
They do, and it's like...
Like, wolf spiders are fast and furious. And
Yeah.
then you got, I guess, the funnels that have the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. And you see, like, there's a new breed of spider found in Australia that's like 2 feet. You're like, fuck that. You know?
Remember those spiders that were supposed to be attacking us last summer?
Yeah. Like you talk about, like, what is it, that one in like the South America, the hunter. I can't remember. It takes down birds.
Yeah.
You know, they say it's so big you hear it coming. You hear it, the legs tapping. Like, fuck that.
I know. Can you imagine?
I want no part of that. Nothing.
Yeah. Spiders are strange, man.
I blame Kennywood for that shit.
What, that bathroom?
No, the mine, the gold rush. I remember the first time I went through that gold rush, man. I went hit that spider section, fucked me up for the rest of my life. I'll admit it. I will admit it right here, right now. That fucking thing, and you look up and you got the thing coming down at you, like, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah, mine was the cornfield. I told you about that.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah. That was a big fucking garden spider.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that shit.
I was fucking.
Yeah.
I probably scared it more than it scared me, but. Just running into the web period was just enough to be like.
Ugh. Get the heebies from it. I'm serious, man. I got like the heebies right now just thinking about that shit. Ugh.
Garden spiders look so. And they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're colorful. And they get huge.
Yeah.
I mean, go figure. I mean, they're eating insects.
Yeah.
They're great for your garden. But, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it is fuck with. I'm.
Moving on.
Yeah. So no. So. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, whatever. So on the stupid shit.
Okay.
So I saw this article. A woman is hospitalized after a social media event goes wrong in an Orange County Target. So apparently there's this. It's called the Bucket Challenge, where you like go in like these stores and you like of strangers and film their reaction.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Someone's getting shot.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Well, apparently they did it to this woman. She says, I was looking at some baby soap. I leaned down and my whole world changed. Everything went dark, quiet, and there was really no air. I flipped off what was put over me around my neck, and I turned around and looked over my left shoulder. To my dismay, it was a group of individuals who were filming me, seemingly for some sort of prank or something like for TikTok. This woman says she developed epilepsy later in life, and the assault deprived her of air. She fainted soon after the incident and was rushed to UC Irvine Medical Center. She says the incident had a physical and psychological impact. I keep looking over my shoulder. I'm a nervous wreck. She said, I cannot believe that in my community you could go to a Target, be in a Target, maybe a mere 10, 15 minutes, and someone would find it amusing to come and strategically find a female by herself and the baby out and think this would be funny or laughable for likes. Obviously, this woman had like an over the top reaction, but like you said, this is some fucking bullshit. Like if this is something that people are doing,
yeah,
and you're listening to this show, you need to fucking stop.
Right.
Like shit like that. You do it to the wrong person.
Right.
Like in this case, like in all honesty, you did it to the wrong person. This person had an extraordinarily adverse reaction to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what makes you think you can do shit like this?
Yeah.
Like, what makes you think, like, that's funny?
I have no idea. I don't know why people do shit like that.
Yeah. Like, I'll never forget, like I learned my lesson the hard way. I'll freely admit it. One time, me and a friend, They listen to the show. They know who they are. We're in a car. He's got a laser pointer. We're pointing it, and it's hitting off of the car in front of us, his rear view mirror. Like we're out, lady stopped the car, got out, and reamed us a new asshole, and we deserved it.
Yeah.
Like it's not looking back at it, like we're like, yeah, we're assholes. We're sorry. Like but it was like, I get like you're young and stupid and you do stupid shit.
Yeah.
But like, I learned my lesson the hard way and never did that shit again. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't. I'm like, lesson learned. Yeah, I'm an asshole. But like I feel like nowadays, like there isn't that. Like whoever did that probably thought it was hysterical and went about their day.
Yeah.
I think other people who do the same thing, like if they were in the situation I was in, would probably be like, oh, she's just a bitch. Fuck her. Well, no, like I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt in my mind I was in the wrong.
Right.
And never did that shit again.
Right.
But like I feel like there are other people out there who like, they wouldn't have learned that lesson.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You do so much dumb shit when you're young.
I know. I mean, I want to forgive it because it's like, well, you're stupid and you're young.
Yeah.
But like, never in my wildest dreams I've ever thought like, hey, let me run up and put a bucket over somebody's head. Like, let alone like, I mean, I get like, when I was young there was no, and we'll film it.
Right.
There was none of that shit. But like, I just can't. I think sometimes like we look at shit and we think, oh, that's really fucking funny, and it is, but it's funny because it's staged.
Yeah.
Like I think we're watching some of these like social media influencers and some of these pranksters. Well, the pranks are funny because they're fixed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's in on it, so you know what's going to happen, and they're filming the reaction. They're not walking up to a complete and total stranger and doing this. Like, I'm sure there's money being exchanged and everything else. Like, even if it's something we don't know, hey, this is what we want to do.
Right.
Sign this release, we'll give you $200.
Hey, Johnny, let's go put some corn cobs up people's asses.
Yeah.
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 Let's do it.
So, like, I feel like that's the part of the problem is you're seeing somebody else do it. Somebody famous, quote-unquote famous, do it. Some famous TikToker.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit, we can do that too. But the problem is that famous TikToker is paying people to be able to do that. Yeah. And, you're Joe Nobody.
Fire it up. Fire it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just... trying to think of the shit that's been done over the years. Like, I can't remember anything, but I know there has been.
Well, I mean, like the Tide Pod challenge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like my first reaction is like, "Are you a fucking asshole?" Like, let me put a Tide Pod in my mouth until it explodes. Like, what? I mean, there are certain things like you just have to resist the urge to do.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching this channel, this YouTube channel, and they were like, your natural reaction when you're sitting there looking at a water jet is, I wonder if I could run my hand under that.
Right.
And I would admit, I've often wondered, I wonder if I could run my hand under that, what would happen? So, but you resist the urge because you know it's going to be bad.
A what?
A water jet. Like, one of those things they use to cut metal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like 60,000 PSI, plus there's sand in there for cutting purposes. What if I put my hand, just ran my hand under there real quick? What would happen? So they got ballistic gel, use a plastic skeleton hand, put the ballistics gel over it, and bad things would happen.
Yeah.
Not shocking that bad things would happen, but
Yeah.
it's like it's human nature to think like it's just water. It can't really hurt me, can it? Well, yes, it can. At that pressure, yes, it can.
Yeah.
So, but like it's like shit like that like you look at it and you say, I could probably survive that. What's the worst that could happen?
Right.
Well, but you reel yourself back in. There's that part of your brain that goes, yeah, but don't do it.
Right.
Like there is a curiosity, but you don't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's like the same with the Tide Pod challenge. You just don't do that shit. Like
Right.
Clearly, no good can come from this. You don't want detergent in your mouth.
Nah.
And it's shit like that you see people doing and like whatever. But it's the power of like social media and these influencers.
Getting people to do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, that's it honestly is what it is. It's like the you want to be a part of the cool crowd.
Sure.
So I'll show some. I did it too. Now you're in the hospital because you swallowed Tide, like an asshole. Now this woman's in the hospital because you put a bucket over her head and she had an epileptic seizure. Way to go. You know what I mean? Like it's shit like that you just don't think through. But that social media influencer, they did think it through because they got somebody they knew or somebody they approached to do it with and got their permission to do it and gave them $200 to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. You're cool with that? Great. Here we go. Like they're not out there like just like doing it to strangers and like, ha 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 ha, ha. Look at what a big asshole we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, even if you go back to the Jackass people, they were doing it themselves.
Yeah, it was all them.
Yeah, it wasn't like they were doing this to, like, complete strangers on the street.
Except Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, but, I mean, that wasn't hurtful. Like, there was stuff they did to complete strangers, but it wasn't like they weren't smacking with giant hands or
Yeah.
The stuff that they did to each other was like far more harmful than like Dirty Grandpa just like making people uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Dirty Grandpa is one of my favorite skits.
Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that for a second, but the thing is, it's
so
like
fucking good.
But like, they were doing more harm and damage to each other than they were to like the general public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference. But people think like, oh, well, we could do that in public. Well, no, because they didn't.
Right.
They did it in a controlled environment.
Right.
No matter how out of control it was still a controlled environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To an extent. So.
I did watch a movie
you did?
this week. Okay. I See You. With Helen Hunt.
Okay.
It's a very strange fucking movie.
Is it newer?
It's from 2019, but I never saw it.
Okay.
And it came up on my Netflix, and it's like top 10. Mm-hmm. Probably top 10 because there's nothing else out right now.
Right.
So anything new is going to make that. But it's actually pretty good. It was. It had like... I always enjoy a movie that completely surprises me.
Yeah.
And this one kind of surprised me. Like, it's fucked up.
What's it about?
Well, so Helen Hunt has a son and the husband in the house. She makes, I don't know, I think she's the breadwinner, makes a ton of money. She's a doctor or something.
Right.
Scientist or something. They have this huge house. Anyway, it opens up by the son just hating on his mom, and you find out that she had an affair with this dude, and he hates her for it. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
The dad. But then things start happening, like the TV turns on, or the ceiling fan will turn on, or the record player will just turn on. Just weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, the movie just goes down this weird path and dark place, and it's very strange. But it goes in line with people doing dumb stunts.
Yeah.
So part of the movie is based on people actually being in your house and not being seen.
Right.
And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like living amongst you, but not even knowing that they're there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like in these big, big old homes.
Yeah.
Or new homes.
Right.
Like that, cubby that you never go into, ever.
Yeah.
Someone's in there.
Yeah.
And they only come out when you're gone, or it's called something. Frogging or something like that. Anyway.
So, yeah.
But it's a fucked up movie. It really is. And it's suspenseful. It has plot twists. But so I recommend it. It's a good movie.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the whole thing.
Right.
Because it's actually a movie worth watching.
Yeah.
To get through it and be like, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's one of the it's one of the very few movies that it starts out and it's telling this story, and then about not even halfway, it flips that bitch and shows you the story from another angle.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like really cool how it incorporated the first part of that story.
Right.
And then it flips it, and then you start seeing that story sort of, but
right.
differently, out of someone else's eyes.
Right.
On the other end of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a movie.
Like something happens in the first part of this story, and then explained in the second part of the story.
Right.
But then you see other things in the second part of the story that
right.
you didn't see in the first. So it's really cool how it blends everything and point of view.
Right. Like kind of like Lovelace. It's the story of Linda Lovelace, who was a porn star in the 70s.
Mm.
Like she was a star of Deep Throat. And like it's like two movies in one. And the first half is like her story, but it's like very upbeat and like everything's great. And the second half retells the exact same story, but like from a really shitty, like things were fucked up and like drug abuse, like the really like, and like somewhere in the middle is the truth, probably. But like it's two different versions of the same story. One's the good version, and one's like the horrific, cautionary tale version. And it's like very well done. I like it. That's a good movie, but it kind of like it does that. It tells like the same story, but from two completely different points of view.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a good movie. It's worth watching.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. And you said that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For those of you who want to check out what we've chosen to view this week.
Right. She does look kind of rough in her old age.
Well, that's a tough one because I was never like a.
She's 60 years old.
Yeah. Like I never viewed Helen Hunt as like a sex symbol.
No.
Like, I don't know why. I mean, she's an attractive woman. Don't get me wrong, but like, I never viewed her that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's looking.
It's that upper and lower lip.
Yeah. Like she was on that show with Paul Reiser, and I was just like,
mad about you.
Yeah, I didn't get that show either. But like even in Twister, I was like, yeah, she's not like I'm not saying you have to be. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I hate going down this road, but it's like a thing of like, yeah.
I like Twister.
It's a fun movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, yeah, I kind of see why I left you. You know, this makes sense.
Yeah, she looked good and mad about you, though.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying she's a horrible looking. Like, I'm trying to think of like an example. Like, who's the one I never got? Ellen Barkin. I never got her sex appeal.
Okay.
Like, ever. Like, even like going. I mean, later on in life, I mean, you know, she's had some surgery, and you know, she's had some work done, you know, and you're just like, ooh, man, that looks even worse. But she just was never like, I never like looked at her and went like, you know, oh yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She just wasn't like what I found attractive.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why. You know, but Heather Thomas, meow. You know,
Heather Thomas.
oh, I mean, that's the reason I initially watched The Fall Guy.
What a weird joke.
I tuned in for Heather Thomas. I stayed for Lee Majors.
Right.
You know, I didn't realize this isn't that bad. I get it.
I'm trying to think of this theme song.
What the? The Unknown Stunt Man.
I know that's what it is, but I can't get the. I can't get the rhyme in my head. I can't get the jingle.
Oh my. Yeah.
It's funny how all those shows had their own little songs.
Yeah.
I just can't remember the song. Huh.
Here we go.
Where's this country?
Oh yeah.
I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. I've been on fire with Sally Fields, gone fast with a girl named Bo. But somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take.
That's not the original version, though.
Huh?
That's not the original version. That's like some like shitty remake.
Is it?
Yeah. Let me go to YouTube.
I know. Yeah, I want to hear the original version.
Yeah.
I know it's the same song, but it was done on like, you know, Midnight Pops or some shit. Here it is.
Well, I'm not kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah.
Who's sang it?
I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. I've been on Sally Field, gone fast with a girl named Bo. But somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead.
It doesn't tell me.
Interesting.
When the show was created, the theme was written to reflect the show, but with The Fall Guy, it was the other way around. Producers already had the theme written for the series. It never got off the ground. And all they needed was the show to build it around.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get to, is that chorus.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
could have swore it was like somebody big who did that, but I guess I'm wrong.
Well, it wasn't Jerry Reed.
No, Jerry Reed. They're saying it was, at least this is, sung by Lee Majors.
Really? I guess it could be.
Let me look.
That could be. It could be Lee Majors.
Yeah, I could see that.
It even sounds like him.
The Unknown Stuntman is a single sung by Lee Majors, yeah.
Wow.
The song was written by Glenn Larson, who in the 80s and 90s was, he wrote like a million fucking shows,
Yeah.
including the original Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Did you see who's in town this weekend?
No. Who?
Oh, fucking, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. He's at Steel City Con. Randy Quaid.
Oh, really?
He actually showed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
He must need some cash for them Canadian hotel rooms.
He must. I mean, just looking like shit, too.
Oh,
Like, I saw a picture of him at Steel City Con. Like, still has, like, the big fucking...
Big beard.
Big beard and everything. I'm like, oh, my God, dude.
You know that thing stinks.
I have no doubt. Oh, there we go. That's the shit right there. Watch old bandit run. Oh, that's the stuff. Right
Man,
there.
he was good, dude.
Jerry Reed. R.I.P.
Hell yeah.
R.I.P. Jerry Reed. R.I.P. It's the shit.
I'm not listening to this. I'm pausing it.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Let's wrap it up there.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, we are. I'm eastbound. Now watch old bandit run.
I might watch that tonight.
Ah, tremendous. Anything you'd like to add to the proceedings there, sir?
No, man, I'm good.
Well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email like Thad does. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are a member of a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and you can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. Now, as always, I want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for that. Be a friend, tell a friend. And thank you again for your support. Mm-hmm. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.